We're here today at the SEEK Workers' Compensation and Occupational Medicine Conference with Attorney Scott Eldridge from the Lansing, Michigan office of Miller & Canfield. Attorney Eldridge, what are some of the FMLA issues workers' comp and occupational medical professionals need to be aware of?
Well, intermittent leave and reduced schedule leave under the FMLA is always a prominent issue, specifically including whether intermittent or reduced schedule leave is, quote, medically necessary as the regulations require. And the other prominent issue is how do we curb intermittent FMLA abuse by employees?
So let's talk for a moment about best practices for intermittent leave and light duty requests. What would you recommend?
Well, I think employers need to be prepared to challenge certification forms that come in the door, whether they're incomplete or insufficient or confusing. And that is not accepting certification forms as is if they don't satisfy the FMLA regulations. Too many employers are concerned or, if not afraid, to challenge them to potentially expose them to a lawsuit. But being prepared to challenge those certification forms is a good tool. And also enforcing workplace policies. The FMLA does not require employers to ignore all of their workplace policies. And there are a lot of workplace policies that can be enforced under the FMLA to help curb some of that abuse.
So what do employers and self-insurers need to know about FMLA compliance?
Again, not accepting certification forms just because a physician has signed one is okay. You're still complying with the FMLA, even if you challenge a certification form as the regs allow. But it's also important to know that missteps or mistakes in your administration of the FMLA can be costly. Lawsuits are expensive. Damages can be expensive as well, which include attorney's fees. So I think it's also worth taking your time to consider whether you're complying with the regs, read the regulations, read the statutes, and if necessary, take 15 minutes to call your favorite lawyer to get some advice. It's worth it and can potentially limit your exposure to liability in the future.
Last question. How can employers avoid FMLA abuse?
I think that if I had to give you three ways, I think that the best ways and the ways I recommend that my clients try and curb abuse is to enforce no-fault attendance policies. The regulations are clear that no-fault attendance policies may be enforced. Require employees to follow call-in procedures that are established. If you haven't established call-in procedures for being sick or on FMLA leave, establish them. And then enforce them if employees are not following them, including being prepared to ding an employee for a tardy or an absence where they failed to call in and later say, well, I was using FMLA. Enforcing those call-in procedures can be a valuable tool. And then finally, one of the more unutilized tools is the recertification process. There are specific rules that limit when you can seek recertification, under what circumstances you can seek recertification. The recertification, that is asking an employee to recertify the reasons for the leave and whether and to what extent they actually need this leave is still current, can be a valuable tool in curbing intermittent leave abuse.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.